As I understood with your panel, the future of TV news is quite bright.
It's quite
Bright.
It is quite bright, and don't forget news has been around an awful long time, and it's always been driven by technology. From first the printing press, the first newspaper was 1605 in Germany, and then, of course, printing was the medium, and then the telegraph, and then photography, and then radio, and then television, and now digital. But technology is kind of neutral, it's just what use you make of it. And today there's like this worry that there's so many sort of outlets and platforms and Twitter and website, what's happening. But our message is that basically, what we filter out 95% of this stuff, and we just sort of settle on something that we like and feel comfortable with. So news has got a big future, yes. I mean, I was making the point about Alta Vista and Lycos. Do you remember those?
I remember that.
Google won, and Google's in everybody's head. It's in the language now. You Google it.
Yeah.
Lycos and Alta Vista aren't in your head. I mean, that's what brands do.
Right.
And when you get a brand in your head, you can't just forget it.
Right.
You can't wake up one day and say, I'm going to forget about Coca-Cola. It's impossible.
Unfortunately not.
You can't forget about Google, you can't forget about CNN, you can't forget about BBC World. They become part of your thinking process.
Right, but how hard is it to filter information? Because today you have 24-hour news channels. We live with our cell phones and our tablets, not so much TV anymore during the day. How hard is it to get the right information, the information that is really news, and to give it to people? Well, it's very hard if you're going online.
It's a natural process, really. I mean, it's. You tend to filter it yourself.
Me as a consumer?
Yes. So if you find whatever you're interested in, and you find a place that's telling you that story, you'll tend to sort of stick with that. So, I mean, there might be thousands of Twitter feeds, and thousands of websites, and newspapers, and TV news, and everything else, but you'll find the place that's right for you, and you'll be drawn there by the way the brand speaks to you and engages with you, really. That's what brands do. So, because our lives we're busy people, we're creatures of habit. When we go to the supermarket, I guarantee you buy 95% of the same product every time you go to the supermarket.
Right, yeah.
You don't say, oh, here's 150 different coffees. No, which one shall I have today?
I'm not going to try the new one.
You just go, I'll have that one, Nescafe Original, that's my brand, off I go. You do that with every brand, including news.
But if we're talking about news, how many bad informations? I think that you gave the example of CNN. I'm not sure the Boston thing that happened. How many bad things happening can ruin a brand?
Well, that of course is any brand can get ruined, and the basic values of news are trust, honesty, balance, all these sort of things, and a brand can get damaged when you stop trusting it, basically. So the problem with news is that it's like they used to say in the old days, hold the front page, there's a story, stop the presses, big stories come in. And because every news brand is ridiculously trying to compete to be first with the story, they can often take a piece of information which just simply isn't true. And because of the technology now, it's possible for people, I mean, even in I think Syria, I think it was, they showed some of the opposition fighters, and they were cowering under attack. This was early on, and what they're actually doing is setting fireworks off behind a wall,
Right.
And this was reported as news, but from their point of view, they were trying to show, this is our fight, this is our struggle. So that's the problem with the new technology, and the problem they were talking about today is how do you filter out what's true and what's false, and that's really the job of journalism. And so that's why journalism will never really go away. But if a big news brand, puts out a wrong story, it's very damaging. Fox News got very, very damaged after Obama was re-elected, because they'd been telling everybody Obama's going to lose day in, day out, and attacking Obama on every level. And he won, and Fox lost a lot of audience after that. And CNN kind of came back, because it hadn't been predicting that Obama was going to. So, but these are sort of editorial questions really, and they're not what I'm just interested in creating the sort of brand and the expression and, engaging people really with the brand. That's my job.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. You've been great.
Thank you very much.